Welcome, SASANS, to this week's episode of SASANS and Dragons. I am Magnus Beasticus, and I will be your dungeon master for the evening. Joining me in this adventure, to my right, your left, doing it reverse this time, is...
Cat. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm playing Thunky Beerbot, who is now a level 6 barbarian and brewmaster.
Next to her.
Hi, I'm Enzer. I'm playing a Durgar Dwarf Wild Mage, level 6 as well. And just picture Tim, I'm going to call him a mage from
Home Improvement.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail. He's wacky. Yeah, that's who I am.
Following up on the other side is...
Rummy, the ever-living. I play a cleric of the Death Domain, a guy named Varkir Invictari. I'm also a level 6 now due to some time fluctuations. And, yeah, I'm pretty normal-looking ASMR. Got chaotic, necrotic stuff coming off me, and yeah.
I feel like it's weird that...
Normal looking ass.
It's funny yet weird that out of 1,000 years of travel and adventure, Varkir only has one more level of experience under his belt.
He gained it by sleeping, though.
This is our own fault. This is our own fault.
I am Maximus Dominus. I play a level 7 because I'm awesome Goliath Barbarian. No one's going to change that.
Did you say level 7?
What? No, I'm level 6, 7.
Back down to level 6.
I am Path of the Storm Herald of the Sea.
Okay, so just a brief summary of what happened in last week's episode is they left the maze after defeating the Paladin Fenir, and they obtained the key to the inner mausoleum, quickly making their way to the front gate where the inner mausoleum was directly opposite of. They came up with a very intriguing and ingenuitive way of distracting the guards with zombies and controlled statues, and they made their way inside of the inner mausoleum, and it locked itself behind them. This was a peaceful sanctuary where the sarcophagi of the King and Queen of 1,000 years past Orenbell, actually probably even farther than that, their corpses lie with the crowns, which was the object of this team's desire, specifically Penki's, the sort of time-traveling deity or entity. Nobody really knows what he is. When they tried to access these sarcophagi, an entity threw them across the chamber and introduced himself as Gorgelius, the champion protector of the bloodline of the royal crown. An epic battle ensued, and our team of Oren's Obliterates came out on top, besting this semi-angelic entity and obtaining both crowns, King Oren's and Queen Daphnis's. They joined them, and it crystallized the crown in something becoming more epic and majestic than it was previously. As soon as this happened, they were flown back to their own time, where they witnessed a flashback from what it seemed had been the steed, White Wind, the horse of Queen and King Oren. And this steed had brought King and Queen Oren to what seemed to be their final battle to protect their land, sealing some sort of gigantic deity in the sky. And they wake up now in the place that they had left. The Evergreen Forest turned rotting, decomposing landscape thanks to many different shambling mounds in the area. When you come to, you wake up in the environment that you were previously, and you hear a softening cackle, although it's hideous all the same, coming from the bag located at Herchek's hip. And you can only imagine that this is Penki. And the broken pathway is still underneath your feet, and the degrading landscape is still before you. And Teraphim is actually there with her arms crossed up against a rotting tree, and she goes, "Have you returned to aid me? Has your dusty companion seemed to have walked away almost immediately after you left? It's only been but moments." Muttering something about a sword. And so you came back to help me? To send one of you guys to me as you go back to get this whatever that creature that's cackling in the sack told you to get?
It's good to see you too, Devin. Yes, we have come back. Hopefully, something to take out this white wind.
Wait, you've
Show
already
her.
obtained the object?
Yes.
We're
It's
that
been
good.
like 2 minutes.
That should
been
prove
gone for,
how
like-
good we are.
You
We're
mean
good.
we don't look level 6?
I know not what this level 6 is, but that sounds pretty low in my mind.
How do we look? Like, do we have everything that we had?
You
on
have
the-
every single thing that you left this timeline with, and nothing that you left the previous timeline with.
It's all like we're wearing it. It's in our
Yeah,
inventory.
it's all exactly as you left it before.
Yeah,
You do not have the wild ring that Penki gifted you before. Nobody has any of the items from the 1,000 years past.
Oh, my dagger. Oh, it's just
Dagger's
I was just
What-
starting to like
What
it.
about the? I mean, like, obviously we'd like to present the crown. Is it in our possession?
No, Penki still has it. And you see his hand come out, and he sort of goes,
I've been holding on to it for quite a while. Here you go, Z. Make sure you give it back. Or if you don't, you'll owe me quite a hefty sum.
and he just throws it at you, her check, and he goes back into the sack.
Wait, I had to go. Wait, Penki. Can you grab me the Starlight Conqueror, please?
Starlight.
That big ass
Conqueror.
sword.
Why, I'm sure in the many different years in between the now and then I've sold it or something. It's
Penki?
or surely you. Hold on, let me check. And
You sort of hear this like this crashing
damn
of different metals and everything
so much
coming
shit in this
emanating
bag.
from the bag. And he goes, "Well, by the many Nicky Nackos I still have, I must have sold it, I assure you. It's not with me." Oh, wait. Mayhaps you would like to wish to rent it from me.
Yes, Penki, I would wish to rent this sword from you.
Do you have, let us say, 100 gold on the hour? Every hour?
On the hour?
Penki, we went through a lot with.
No, it's
Finesy. Mayhaps you wish to buy it from me. Instead, no rental fee.
Is he just poking his like mouth out like?
It's just hands.
Just hands coming out of the bag.
A lot of gesturing going on. That's outrageous. It's not even my sword, but I'd never pay that.
Mayest
We
have-
helped you, Penki.
I helped you, quite assuredly, in this adventure of yours.
Remember
For
that
you would
thing
not
that
be-
you
Do you,
failed
he
at?
points off in the distance, and you hear,
I just go, Penki, I'll get you your favorite meal. I'll buy you tons of food. I know you're probably starving in there. Or maybe you have tons of food. I don't know.
Penki supposes, throughout the swirlings of times that happened between now and thens, you must have forgotten about the hands that or the debt that your hands owed me.
and he's pointing at you two, and he goes,
Indeed, there are pets within this debt that you owe to me.
We could take care of that right now if you want.
okay. He sort of like comes out of the
Come
bag,
here,
putting
Penki,
up.
come on.
Well,
I
we're
think
not
I'll
gonna bite
stay
ya.
we'll
in
walk
the
next to
safety
each
of this
other, but we'll have Penki in between us and we'll pet him, sorry. At the same time.
10
Drislin,
minutes of
this is
pets.
a long story.
Yeah, and
Just
Teraphim's just like,
Bear with us.
that I knew so many of the oddities of this world, but encountering your silly bunch, it seems that I still have much to learn.
Your voice got
I
so
would,
mad.
Yeah,
you don't need to take notes on this
Penki
one.
Fim.
All right, Penki, come on.
Can we walk down the path but like hold his hands like he's a child and like, you know, do that swing thing with him?
Yeah.
Whee!
Just his bottom half still in the bag.
And yeah, he's having the time of his life, and yeah, he won't come fully out of the bag at this point. So it's
Man,
just
that's
two
weird.
disgusting, really long
Ew.
arms that are a little bit more elastic than you would have thought. So he's like
Ugh.
swinging and stretching and coming back, and swinging and stretching, as you guys are walking down, and just having the time of his life as his eyes are closed, and he's got this really toothy, pleased smile of just jumbled teeth that are not in any kind of order whatsoever.
Even I'm kind of just like,
And when your fingers reach in and start scratching and petting, it's like pure grease, and then sliding down the fur, you'll just feel patches and clumps of like dirt, or probably dirt,
Ugh.
hopefully dirt.
probably
can,
poop.
I guess this
Nasty.
is a little outside the game at this point, but do I think that mend would work as to clean Penki and maybe like get rid of, add some hygiene?
You're familiar with a spell called prestidigitation? Mend would fix a broken item,
Yeah,
or
his hygiene.
but it would not
A broken habit.
mend Penki himself.
Fine. All right. We signed up for
Would a-
this.
Would a healing spell heal him? Fix him? Heal the dirt off you.
You could try.
I'm not there.
Oh yeah, yes, that's true. And as you guys are walking down the pathway for a few minutes, you actually see leaning on one of the trees, just waiting for you, is a familiar face. More recently familiar to you than you are to him, for it's been a much longer time. A red-robed, golden-haired Aasimar.
Far!
You said your hair
I
was
said I was
blonde. Oh, red.
yeah.
Sorry, red-robed, red-haired Aasimar. I keep picturing a blood elf.
Go up to him, I give him a big old bear hug.
Very nice. Her
Check.
checker.
I set him down.
I'm gonna
Well-
go up and curtsy in front of him.
I do
Me
a
too.
bow. I do a bow to as well.
Lift my robes.
Like that's for females, right? But what's
Don't I look nice?
to
Just take the gesture.
How
Tumor?
has
That's your name? Tumor?
Oh,
Timerius.
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 call me
Penki, you
Tim.
bastard.
It's been 300 years since you fulfilled your contract.
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Yes.
Time doesn't. It's been good to you.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this over with.
Hold on, Pinky.
Penki sprints in to you. He's like running
On his
forward
hands,
towards
like,
you. Yeah, and he jumps with the sack, and he just pops into the sack, and the sack ties itself around your waist again. And he goes,
Bye.
Pinky, where's the sword, please? I give him 10 gold. Just drop
Wait, I
10.
thought we were gonna pet him and everything.
"You guys did
We
pet
are
him."
doing
Yeah, we were walking. the
Oh,
entire-
okay.
Yeah, you
I
pet
had
him down
something
the road.
special planned, but if he was cool
No.
with that, then
Let's leave it at that.
He does say half of your debt has been repaid.
We'll get him later.
sure.
10 gold.
Yeah.
You hear, and he spits onto your oblique, onto your left oblique, and it starts sliding down. Just a big clump of fur, and
Aw.
like it's got some tiny bones in it. as
That
well.
means
I
he
like
likes
grab it
you.
and I'll just open the bag and I'll just drop it in the
Can't
bag.
open the bag.
I could drop it in the bag.
You can't.
Why?
It's Penki fully and wholly what you understand over the time of owning this bag controls this bag. When you want anything out of it, you have to ask him, pretty much.
Did. Whatever. I'll come back for it later.
He's still the same old Penki, I see.
Same old goddamn Penki. I take it back.
And Terraform goes, "Who is this character over here?"
We met him in the past. So, short story, we went back in time
Been
to
quite a while.
Oren's. God, he was dead. His dead place.
The King's Monastery.
There we go. That big word.
King
Mausoleum?
Oren's Mausoleum.
Mausoleum.
It's been
And
1,000 years for me,
I've
and I
been
remember more than
wondering
you.
why you guys were saying monastery. I was like, I don't remember it being a
And we
monastery.
stole King and
Correction,
Queen Oren's crown.
borrowed.
Borrowed. No, we
the
stole.
King and Queen's
No.
crown.
And you are holding it currently, the crown.
This.
Yeah.
Both of them?
And
No, it's one.
they've been
Combined?
joined
Okay.
now, and looking on it now, a few of you realize that it bears a similarity to the cosmic castle that King Triandal resides in, floating above Orenbell. Just in terms of, can you put it on?
Yeah.
No, you can't. It's almost like this sort of anti-gravitational pull, like
Like a magnet.
you're like, yeah, exactly. And it just slides off every single time. But yeah, so you met him, and he's a friend from. Is he from this time, or I don't?
We don't know.
Yeah, we really don't know. He has some kind of relationship with that
Thing in the bag.
handsome creature that you just witnessed happen back inside that bag.
That is my own
She goes,
business. That is my own business, and I would appreciate it if you didn't bring it up anymore. It was quite a an ordeal, so yes.
Yeah, the important thing is that
We have a
he
problem.
really helped us out back there, and I think he wants to continue,
I would like to.
finish the job, I'd say.
He's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm glad to have you aboard.
What's your name again?
My name is Terrafin Trislin, and she bows down and curtsies as well. And she goes, "At your service. Though Iso's portion is now gone,
I will take
and this
it.
does not mean that he gets it."
I helped though. I helped a lot.
He
And
did.
it's been 1,000 years
assist.
since I've been waiting for my payment.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Oh, I am actually proficient in persuasion. So that would be an 18. Wait a
She
minute,
goes,
that's 19. Never mind.
"Well, I do see that you have rather noble features."
I do. Oh yeah. Everybody who thinks, oh yeah, I have a feature
Now's
called.
not
I have
the
a feature
time
called
for
Position
romance,
of Privilege.
Terrafin.
Everybody thinks the best of me. I'm welcomed in high society, and nobles
Everyone
treat me.
thinks
yeah,
the best of
and
you.
nobles treat me
Wow.
as an equal.
Wow.
So here's this guy, like necrotic shroud and everything. Like that guy must be a really great guy.
Quite a feature.
You really are
there.
Spider-Man 3.
Shadows curling off of
Just-
you.
Yeah, that guy looks great.
He must be. He must donate to charity all the time.
Well, I would love to learn about your family history one of these days. Some of my offerings will go to you then, instead of this ISO fellow. He's just not dependable. Why do you guys hang around such a man?
Must have been
I
a
don't know.
commoner, vagabond. All sorts of things.
We fought in many battles together. Please, watch your mouth.
But
I
what,
shall
what,
respect.
what was
Thank
this
you.
person?
And you hear the snapping and cracking of trees as you almost feel this pull to the crown as off in the distance you hear
It's like Wild Wild West.
and you can see the dead trees just going sort of falling to one side as this mass is approaching you.
How far
I-
into the distance? Is it like an immediate threat?
It is almost an immediate threat. I would say it's about a quarter mile away.
Yeah, I
and
say
it's,
How
you
large?
hear this a quarter mile away.
No, how large is
Oh,
the-
how large? You can see the back, or what is assumed to be the back, with many different trees and actually parts of ruins on top of it, just over the tree line. It's not massively above the tree line, so at about a quarter mile away, you can't quite put a size to it, but it's pretty huge.
How tall are these trees?
Okay,
How
everyone,
tall-
I say we
Um,
book it.
you feel
Squid.
sort of
Sorry.
wind start to swirl around you wherever the crown is, just ever so slightly. And the more this creature approaches, the stronger the wind feels around this crown.
I
As
feel a
the
white
trees are
wind
just
coming.
and it's
I
getting
say we
closer
get back to that temple over
and
there.
closer.
This path doesn't look like a great place for a battle.
We should move back to the temple, but I don't think a battle will be necessary.
Temple? What temple?
You'll see.
What?
We
Yeah,
head
it's
back
way
to the
back
we head
there,
back to the
don't
temple.
Yeah.
What deity is this temple of?
There was just an empty.
We
There's
literally
nothing
found
in it.
There
There
were
was just a dead
monkeys
corpse.
there,
I don't
right?
think it's a
Very well.
monastery or a
Very
No,
church
it
or
wasn't
anything.
like
Perfect.
I say we give it one more look around, though.
The temple.
I'm pretty sure there's something there.
There's got to be something in there.
So you guys start to go quickly back towards the temple, but you're being gained on by this giant creature. It's just as it senses the crown going away, the crown starts to tug even more on your belt, and it almost feels like there is this same thing, gravitational pull towards the creature, and it starts. The faster you move, the creature picks up pace.
Jesus. We have to stop and get ready.
Does it seem like we can make it? I mean, like, is it drawing?
It seems like you would probably. You're not confident, but there is a slim possibility that you might make it to this structure in time. Seeing it now, though, it's pushing over trees, and this structure was poorly formed to begin with. So if it comes to you, you would imagine that it's not going to be the best of salvation for you. The best
Okay.
cover that you can afford.
Maybe we should stop.
What? Terraform goes, what was this crown supposed to do anyway?
Penki, do you know anything of this crown?
Wasn't it supposed to help us?
You hold it up and some light shines.
Poke
off
the
it,
bag.
Pops.
I'm gonna poke the bag,
And
and then
all I remember is that we needed it to face the white wind, the king's and queen's favorite horse. But how we use it, I don't know.
I stop moving and I turn to face it.
And as you turn to face it, the crown, regardless of any attempt to keep it to your in your possession, it almost floats with a gust of wind towards the creature. Just
Well, Butterfingers.
you'd be able. It's not even quick. It's almost like it's floating and it's spinning in the air as it's going towards the creature. And the Titanus Shambler, white wind turned shambling mound keeps approaching. It's maybe 100 feet from you guys at this point, and when the crown meets it, and it meets the crown staying about just under the Titanus Shambler, you guys are not too far away at this point. You can see the Shambler just sort of relax for a second, and it starts to clear the trees in your immediate view, and you can see that it's about 100 feet in the air at its highest, and it's just this collection of dead trees and roots hanging down, and its arms are just a huge mixture of different plant life and plant matter, just huge
Like pillars? almost?
trunk, like just giant trunks going down on the ground, and it stops there in front of the crown, and it goes, and it leans its what you would imagine to be head down towards the crown and almost touches it as the crown is still spinning there. And looking in the reflection in the swamp, just like the little bit that is available to you, it's almost more reflective now than you would imagine it would have been prior. And you can see two forms, a man and a woman, caressing what looks to be this milky white horse, just in the reflection. And you hear the shambling mound, stills for a moment, and there's a moment of calm. And you hear Penki go,
Now, get the crown. Get the crown. It has been done before it is too late.
and the crown starts to spin a little bit, and light sort of flashes from it as the couple and the horse embrace each other for longer. A pulse of light flashes outward and then almost gets sucked back into the crown, and then it starts vibrating again. And Penki goes, "Now! Get the crown!
Run over.
Before it's too late!"
I
Run over and
sprint
grab the
over and try to grab it.
Roll an acrobatics, an athletics check.
Oh.
Can we all attempt
Head
this?
check.
You can.
Maybe we don't.
It's already done, man.
Whoa. What'd you say? Athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics.
14.
24.
I'm gonna cast mage armor.
Okay.
I'm just gonna like spread my legs, horse
yeah,
stance, and then
Okay.
yeah, blue electricity starts circulating around my body.
Okay. Goddamn. So as you all are rushing forward, her check takes off first, but ends up being a little too slow as wading through the swamp up to his knees is slowing him down. And Tim, sensing that something is amiss as the next flash of light comes out and consumes your bodies rushing towards it, and then gets sucked in again. And you almost feel this wave of force push out. Thunky jumps on Herchek's shoulders and then jumps forward towards the crown as another pulse of light flashes outward, this time a bit of force with it. And as the light sucks in one more time, the force all around you pulls every single one of you in, and you grab the crown and tuck and curl down and curl in as a light shoots off into the sky. And there is a moment of calm where you don't hear anything coming from the shambling mound, and you are holding the crown itself, and you look behind you. The reflection is gone, and there seems to be no wind cascading around the crown this time around. And you listen for a little longer, and you can hear some movement on top of the mound, and you still feel the electrical pulses, but for the moment, the mass of this mound is still.
Can I do a perception check to see if I maybe even an arcana check to see if there's any kind of magic still running through this mound?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an arcana check.
Yeah, her check. 17.
Oh, whoa! It's not a 3?
Hold on there.
So the
21 total.
the movement of the mass itself, the legs, and which there are, you can see 4 massive limbs, and the head still lowered. It's some of its vine tendrils sinking into the liquid of the marsh. It has stopped, but you still know that there's electrical energy pulsing from the top, as you can almost see this rain cloud above the Titanus shambler, and you can see sort of movement of vines on top still.
We should climb it.
And Terraphim goes, "It looks as though the electrical scourge across this land has not ended. We still need to find the source."
I say we go. Come on.
To the top?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
Yeah.
Before that, Thunky,
To
may I
run.
please grab the crown from you?
As long as you don't let go of it.
I won't.
Wait,
like
her check.
last time.
That was a magic butter.
Butterfingers.
I take the crown and I go, Penki, I have the crown.
Her check. Wait.
I was gonna do
The
something.
bag opens up. Make a strength check.
I was gonna trade it. I want the sword. I was gonna get it for the sword.
He's just taking it from you.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna intervene as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try
You
to.
don't beat it.
What, he's got like a 19 strength? He didn't even roll.
Sorry, he doesn't, but it's a difficulty check. That
Can
you
I?
have to
Can
make.
I? Like my entire intention is not give that crown back to Penki. I would say this is inside my own head, but I want you to know that I would.
As
As I
Thunky-
see this, like,
Yeah, so as Thunky
transaction.
hands it to Herchek, I will allow you a reaction, understanding the meaning of this moment, the potential meaning of this moment, and what would you like to do? Where in the time slows down and you see the gnarled, elongated nails and fingers
Yeah.
of Penki reach
Mine
up slowly.
same, going towards the crown.
Okay,
And
roll a strength check.
Full
How
person.
strong I am.
Oh, that one.
20.
Nice.
Whoa.
Wow.
Holy shit! That was the only thing that would have possibly been able to get it.
Then.
As
Now hold on!
yeah, as now it is 3 hands grabbing the crown. Her checks lightly. Penki's as sturdy as he possibly can, in just pulling it in as quickly and as strongly as he can. And yours finding now equilibrium with Penki's own strength, which is much more than you ever would have anticipated. And it's almost as though your magical essence itself is aiding you in this moment, as there's almost electricity curling off of your skin, and you're just like,
I'm gonna also bite Penki's hand, like one finger at a time, to try to
Ew.
pull his hand
You're
off.
poisoned.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
poisoned.
probably gonna die.
Probably
Right,
got the hepatitis
you
AIDS
hear
on there.
as the fingers sort of wave and pull into the bag, and he says,
Until I get that crown back, good luck getting anything from this bag. You vile, treacherous traitors! How could you?
Oh, wait just a second, Penki. All of us, our duty is to Orenbell. This is the king and the queen's crown. I'd be glad to side with Penki in order to save Orenbell, but I would not give this crown up to such a creature.
What do you mean by that?
Penki,
You're hideous.
I'll bet you.
There's so much
To get what I
more
want.
to a being than what is on the outside.
There's nothing on the inside with you.
It's clear that
Penki.
you're selfish. That you're only in it for yourself.
he's like,
You're
hold on,
scheming.
every word, every word against Penki that you say at him, he's reacting as though you're sending arrows into it. And he's he's like, just his torso is out of the bag, and he's just mentally and physically wounded by these words.
Penki,
Now,
go
I
back
come
down
from
in
a
your
cave and
bag.
I've been accompanied
Do it.
among worse than you, Penki. But I'm not willing to sacrifice this crown and
I brought you closer to your desires. I gifted you with such items. And this is how you reward me. How would you have defeated that giant monstrosity otherwise?
we can be in your debt. Maybe we could pay off, maybe we could give you our earnings, at least a part of it, until we've paid you off. But not this one. This one goes to its rightful place.
Finders, keepers, losers, weepers.
You lost 1,000 years ago, and we had to go back and help you, and it wouldn't have happened without us.
Roll a persuasion check. Unless you're trying to intimidate him, then roll an intimidation check.
I'll try to intimidate him. 14.
Wow.
I'm all about bargains. If you want anything from me again, you'll have to find something of equal or greater value. My time here, assisting you, my powers, aiding you. They're mine again and all mine. And you'll never have them until that moment comes.
I side with Penki
Comes
here.
back. He
I'll,
goes back
I'll
into the
give
bag
up all
and
my
seals
earnings
it up.
to Penki. I'll be in debt. I'll take this one for the team.
And Terafim's just like, what happened back then? 2 minutes! You were gone!
Say we killed some people.
We
And
did some
It'd take a long
things.
time to explain.
we ended family lines.
Do you have any night ancestors? You might want to be worried about them if you did.
She sort of shudders a little bit and goes, I think it's best that I don't delve too much deeper into this. The less I know, the less liable I am for what has happened on this little adventure of ours.
That's a
Smart
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't blame you.
But
One bit.
you're still all helping me bring this forest back to the vitality it once had.
Oh yes, yes, indeed. Yes.
It
Agreed.
looks
Absolutely.
rather nice dead, though.
What'd you say?
It looks rather nice dead.
Not
It'll
quite.
look better.
Yes, you have
Herd
seen
check.
it in its beauty.
Penki,
Beauty.
what do you say to my offer?
Penki is gone.
Yeah.
He retreated into the bag.
Yeah, I let go of the crown. I was like,
I'm
I
sorry,
side with
Herchek.
Penki.
No, he has the crown.
Yeah, I let go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
That-
hey, it's on you, but you know, you're just fucking me over more.
And Penki
And
would
which
be
her check, all of your items that are in the bag are no longer available to you.
Yeah.
Anybody's items that
What do you
were
think
in that
now?
bag are no
we
longer
are
available to you.
Oren's obliterate.
Obliterate.
Obliterate. Not Penki's. I don't know. In crew, I don't have a great name here for what the situation is with Penki, but it's not good.
You're not turning in that crown.
Let's continue, and we'll talk about it later.
Yes,
Wait.
we have pressing matters. Shall we begin to climb?
Yeah.
I got my climbing shoes. on.
Klumen.
My Klumen.
Klumen shield.
So what you see in front of you currently is this, again, sort of imagine this mass of rotting trees and tentacles hanging down from it.
Oh,
You see about 25 feet in the air, 25 feet raised on this Titana Shambler, ruins and steps start to form and guide around the trees that make up the bulk of the, I don't know, cranium of maybe what you call on the Shambler, the Titana Shambler. And then there are two massive, the arms, the appendages made out of the roots on the side. The right one has some stones and ruins embedded into it, and the left one is has got some sort of vines, and it's more organic looking, and some of it is still sort of just moving on its own. Some of the vines, just like
No, screw that.
Also,
Let's go to the
we should
ruins
think
way.
about taking at least a short rest. We have no
Oh, look pretty
things
grim.
threatening us at this time, and it'd be good to gather ourselves for the moment.
One of the long
Can we take a short rest once we get on top of this scary beast?
I agree.
How long
okay,
is
so
this?
how are you going on? How are you getting on him? It.
I'm climbing up
Yeah.
them vines.
The central portion?
The left arm.
To you?
Right arm. Right arm. Your right
With
arm.
the
Your
ruins?
right arm.
Okay.
I'll follow. Fine.
Okay, go ahead and roll an athletics check.
I'd probably go up the ruins way.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna go up to
16.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
As you are studying the vines, her check, you rolled a 16.
No, I thought
That
I
was
was gonna
me.
go up the easier way.
Okay. As Varkir and Thunky start to look at the right arm, or sorry, the right side, his left arm, the Titana Shambler, and they just walk up to it and start climbing, and they find purchase. It's almost just like a very casual climb up to the top. Herchek looks at the bottom, at the base of the right arm of the Shambler with the wreathing tentacles, and he starts to grab one and pull himself up, and he's just sort of fighting the other tentacles as he's grabbing, and he's just like, it's like slopping and slapping him in every direction, and he's at a point just like grabbing onto one tentacle as it's throwing him around. Tim pulls up his robes, and he walks in the water, and he just looks up, and you see him like do that Game of Thrones guy crack where he like cracks all of his bodies, the old Yeah, the old guy that like pretends to
The
be
maester?
feeble most of the time, and he just like rolls his shoulders back, twists his back, and you're about halfway up her check, and he just scrambles on top and like jumps from one vine to the other and grabs onto the same one that you are, and the vine whips in the air, and he just lets go at the peak of the whip and just and lands on top and just dusts himself off and like goes back into his what I
This is
imagine
your
to be
shit.
hunched Durgar form.
One day I look up
As
and be
you as you're to be the final one up, put your hand up top and pull yourself up finally, reaching the top of the Titanus Shambler.
That's my
All
I
those
thought we went
times
up the
spent in
left
the-
one, to be honest.
You did go.
We
up the
did get to
left.
go
You
to
did
the
go
left.
up the
You
left
said
one.
the right one had
The right arm.
It's a bit confusing because it's the right arm of the Shambler, but the left one to you guys.
Okay.
Well,
You rocked that
like,
shit.
wow, Durgars can really rock climb, can't they? Or vine climb, I guess.
You know, it's all about that cave. What's it called? Where you
The
like,
cave scramble?
crawling in caves.
Spelunking?
Yeah,
You
spelunking.
spelunk a lot, huh? Alright, you're a spelunker.
Close my eyes and pretend I'm in a cave in a tight place.
And this sort of platinum blonde, which is the color of Terafim's hair, hummingbird flies up next to you all, and you imagine that this is Terafim. It's her best way of joining you.
Wow.
It's just turning into another animal and flying. I will reveal to you the part of the map right now. Convening at the bottom here, you see the steps leading upward, and looking up, you still see the mass of rotting trees and a large stone sticking out from the center of this mass. You're looking up towards the body of the Shambler. Two steps, or two, a row of stairs leading up to the right, row of stairs leading up to the left. And you see on the right and left two of the massive arms that were climbed up again.
So like Herchak and I are on. So
Listen,
it's
I'm saying you
left
guys
arm.
convened right here just to make it.
Oh,
easy.
okay, right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Towards the head of it.
And this. You said it was a stone or a jump? Sorry.
A giant stone.
Does can I do a
Ruins?
perception check to see like if there's anything crazy about this stone, or does it look just like stone?
Okay, yeah, do a perception check.
Just gonna sit down on the chair or the stairs. Just gonna chill.
9.
You can see sort of floating blue glitter almost in the air, and strips of electrical energy hovering above this stone. And you can see that the dark storm cloud itself is almost centralized immediately over the stone.
Does this stone look like it's movable?
No, not at all. The stone looks like it might be 10,000 pounds. That's how large
I
it is.
can lift it.
Roll a strength check.
check.
It's so to give you a larger idea of the scale.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a universal now.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna
that's
shoot
gonna
a
be funny.
firebolt at it.
That'd be funny.
Okay, go ahead and roll to attack.
Yeah, about that. 11.
11. The fireball shoots.
Firebolt.
Sorry, firebolt shoots at. Are you still using your finger or using the staff now?
No, I'm using the staff now.
Okay. The fireball shoots out of the staff, and it's almost like the fireball slows down a few feet before the stone itself and is diverted away, almost guided by the electrical energy.
I'll just kind of say I fixed the crown to. I'll put it in like one of those pouches, pull out the pull out the crown, and then just like hold it up to the rock, see if it reacts at all.
No reaction whatsoever.
I'll walk up to the rock, and
So you're walking up.
Yeah, are you walking? So you can't walk up to the rock right now. The rock, imagine you're on a lower level, and the stairs are leading up, and in front of you are a mass of rotted trees going up almost on a hill, and then at the top of that hill, still inside of the massive rotting trees, is the stone leading up. So the stone's about 30 feet in front of you still.
Trees.
Yeah.
Does this? It looks like there's a pathway on each side.
Yeah,
So
it
does
does.
that pathway just like gradually, kind of like a hill or a knoll or something, go up to where
Yeah.
the gem is? Then can I walk over around?
Tim, before you go, we should take a minute to rest. We just went through a big battle.
I agree.
How long are we planning on resting?
Short rest.
Like 4 hours?
The hummingbird rests on your shoulder.
How long is resting?
No, I'm just saying, just so you know, while you're resting, the hummingbird is just chilling on your shoulder.
I'm gonna be making some glyphs.
It's watching everything you do.
Okay, so that's why I need to know how long we're gonna be resting, because each glyph takes an hour to make.
Short rest is half an hour long.
Half an hour, so I'm not gonna be able to make a glyph. Never mind. Just a half an hour long. Yeah, no, I can't do it.
Eat some
But
snacks.
you can ask the party to rest a little longer.
Drink some juice
I would
boxes.
would require you to rest for 2 hours.
How many
Would that
glyphs?
work?
That's fine.
Yeah, 2 hours. What's
Very
that bird
well.
on your arm there, Var?
I don't know.
I'm gonna.
It seems nice.
It's Terrafim.
Ah, Terrafim.
I'm still.
This person.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We all don't know what this bird is, so I'm gonna grab it.
It was the thing that it's like its features. Terrafim has platinum blonde hair and violet eyes.
I
and
still
it's
wouldn't know.
got, okay, I'm just saying. But you said we all wouldn't know. I'm just saying that some people would definitely
May-
know.
Would they?
Yes.
Without what?
So
So I'm going to.
you guys rest for 2 hours. During that time,
I'm gonna
the
make 2 glyphs.
during that time, the Shambler's overall activity as a central mass does not change, but you can still see and hear just sparks of electrical energy, and every now there's a vibration through the mass, but it doesn't feel like the mass is shifting or anything like that. And then you can constantly hear just like
How much?
from the different vines just whipping back and forth in different directions.
How much do we get back, Magnus?
That's up to you, depending on how many hit die you spend, or how many. Yeah, of your hit die.
So I made
I'm gonna
2
spend 3,
Okay, go ahead and roll for it. I think if you're a barbarian, it's D10.
D12.
Jesus. Yeah, that's great.
15, 17 points of resting damage restored.
I think do you add your Constitution? I'm not sure.
I've never done that before.
And so you know, every long rest you get half of your hit die back, and you only have as many hit die as you have your level. So you're 6th level, you spent half of your hit die. If you rest a long time or a long rest, then you'll get all of your hit, or yeah, you'll be completely replenished.
So I made 2 glyphs of warding in that rest period, and one of them I put in Prayer of Healing, and then the other one I put in, what was it? I think Shield of Faith. And I actually, I hand Prayer of Healing to Herchek, the glyph that has Prayer of Healing to Herchek. Like, break this stone when you need
Break this stone?
more no,
Right
no,
now?
when you need more health, when you're dying, break this stone. Make sure people are around you though. A lot of people. That are all your friends.
Alright, I'm gonna
And I hand
attach
that
it to my
him.
belt.
Okay.
That's what
And
we
then-
call passing gas in a cave.
And then I take the one that has Shield of Faith on it and I hand it to Thunkby? I don't know what your name
Thunkby?
is.
Donkey.
Thunky, I hand it to Thunky and it's like, this one has Shield of Faith on it. You know, it will protect you. Break it
From
when you
what?
need it.
What?
So
It protects me?
yeah, Shield of Faith will give you plus
It's
2
a
AC for up to 10 minutes, but it's concentration. So
Wait, I'm
break it.
sorry. AC. What does it do to my AC?
I don't know
Your
how it would work.
concentration or their concentration?
I would just say your concentration. She'll break it and then does concentration on yourself.
I imagine it would be his concentration because he's the one making this.
It's your
glyph.
spell, but they're the one activating it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And until we find out, we won't spend too much time finding out right now. We'll say that Thunky has to keep concentration.
Alright, so it'll give you +2 AC if someone's gonna hit you and you don't want to be hit.
Actually,
Alright.
no, Thunky's a barbarian. There's no possible way, if they were to rage, all concentration would go out the window.
Ah, well then very
It'd
well.
be your concentration.
Okay, so my concentration.
Fuck you.
Okay. Thank you, Barky.
Yep. Yours is, a bunch of healing.
Break it.
Well, when everybody needs a bunch of healing, it'll give healing to it'll soothe your wounds. You weird large fellow.
So you spend the next 2 hours on these steps, healing up a little bit, and
I'm also gonna,
casting
like,
your spells.
Sing to Penki. Like, oh, I want that sword, Penki. Like real Creed into it.
Okay. With sword wide open. Okay. Whether or not he takes notice of your desperation is not immediately apparent.
Well, I guess in this short rest, I-
So cute.
he does look like he's kind of like burned out.
It's
Can
like, what
someone
are you guys
take
doing?
a picture?
Washed up.
Yeah, somebody take a picture of him.
I'll
We'll
take a
put
picture.
it on the
So
camera
precious.
view.
He made his own little canopy bed.
Like this green screen, I'll use it for me.
You gotta get one.
It's Chrono
From-
Crusade.
No,
What is this?
Chrono Cross.
Chrono Cross.
Yeah.
What is Chrono Crusade? No, Chrono Crusade is the anime, isn't
Yeah. Wait, no, Chrono Crew. Yeah, it is
Okay.
the anime. Ooh,
I'm also.
perfect.
I'll try. I'll walk up to her check and just talk
Not
to
quite
Penki.
perfect, but the name of the
Say, Penki, I know how you feel right now, but I have the best intentions here, and maybe we'll find you something better down the road. As I said, I'm willing to give up my share to help her check out here and get his sword back. So anything that I come across, aside from this crown, I'm willing to send your way. So, what I said, it was a spur of the moment. I didn't mean it. I just wanted to make sure that we wouldn't given the King and Queen's crown of Orenbell, the city we vowed to protect, over to you.
Roll
It's just not yours.
roll a persuasion check.
Would have never known about these crowns being stolen if it was not for Penki. So in reality, we're not gaining anything.
7
7.
plus everything in persuasion.
7. I'm not proficient in persuasion.
You should have let me talk to him. I am
Can
very
I also do
persuasive.
something during this 2 hours?
Mhm.
I can be
Can
deadly
I just
persuasive.
scribble a drawing onto a sheet of paper, and it'll be that I have.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it'll
so
be all
this
of
is what you
us
have.
like standing in a row, and we'll have Pinky like in our arms like this,
Okay.
and we're all like laughing and having a good time. And I'm gonna write on it like, "This could be us if you wanted it to be," and then just like slip
on,
it in
hold
the
on.
bag.
Roll a performance check. I'm not sure if that'd be the right roll, but we got to see how good this drawing turns out. And is everybody holding their own individual Penki, or everybody's gathered around one
No,
Penki?
we're all holding him. Like,
Okay.
Cradling him.
Yeah, performance seems right. Oh shit.
22.
And you're where are you putting it?
I'd like to give it to Pinky.
Slip it in the.
Yeah. Like, Pinky, I drew you something.
And you're waving it over the bag of holding, the really gross looking bag of holding, for a few seconds, and you can barely perceive the whole opening, and you can look down inside, and you can see this eye just looking directly above at the drawing, and you hear and just and he throws his arm up and rips it down and grabs it and brings it into the bag.
Hope you got a fridge in there. You can put that on. Look at it every day, Penki. Think about it. We could all be friends.
Actually, now you roll a persuasion check with advantage.
20, not natural.
Okay.
Maybe we'll be friends
Fridge
after
art?
all.
They call that a fart in my case.
Is everything a fart in your cave? Love, we call that a fart.
Oh, what a fat!
It's
Or
like
did
it's
you
like
just
squanch.
fart?
It takes on its meaning of the sentence. Squanch, fart. I
Where
fart
we
you.
come
Oh my
from.
god.
So you all look at each other, having completed your tasks throughout the 2 hours and healing up and resting. Is anybody else using any hit points to heal themselves? Is anybody else?
No.
And in this moment at the 2 hour point, you look at each other, and this is the time to go. Let's find out how to stop this ever increasing lightning plague.
I'll walk up the right stairs.
Yeah, I'll head up there too. And
We're all heading up there.
So for all of us going forward, the directions right and left, is this in relation to facing towards the shambler or facing away from the shambler?
Towards.
Towards.
The
Like,
Towards.
is it
yeah,
your?
it's,
Okay.
it's left.
We're heading up.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
The right side. As you all are walking up the right side, the hummingbird's still on your shoulder. Oh, actually, no. I'm sorry. The hummingbird halfway into the rest, just like plops off onto the ground in front of you guys and just is hanging out and is teraphim. She like combs her hair back. As you guys are ascending the right staircase, you can hear some bubbling and like coming from the right side of your perception and the right side of the shambler, and the staircase rounds up and starts to break apart even more, and the top of this mound is almost exactly like the terrain that you were navigating getting to this point in the Evergreen Forest. The rotted
Swamp.
Thank you. The rotted swamp domain, and you follow it up, and inside, to your left, looking at the rock, just like rounding the rock and finding the point at which you imagine the base to be, you can see a stone platform coming into the center of a pool of water, the most pure liquid you've seen around here, and broken up stones circling this pond. The pond is maybe 25, 30 feet in diameter, and again in the center is this stone platform that leads to the base of this giant stone, 30-foot high stone from the ground. The stone itself is cracked a little bit, and I would like whose passive perception is above 14?
I believe mine is 14.
Mine is 11.
Yeah,
so not
mine's 14.
Oh, I should have gotten that. Should have written that down. Yours is 14, Barkir?
You never know.
You notice that the stone's features almost make out, like it's funny. It's almost like looking at shapes in a cloud. It almost makes a face.
The Angelo stone?
You can see the protruding eyebrows and almost a long nose coming out. And at the very base of this stone are 4 imprints inside. It almost looks like pieces are missing at the base. 4 pieces. Imagine fitting in the talismans into the Jackie Chan adventures.
Jackie.
Yeah, exactly. But they're much larger. They're about a 1.5 feet in diameter at the base, and it definitely looks like pieces of this stone are missing. But you can, looking at the water, you can still see the electrical particles just like sort of striking the water in small areas and cascading throughout, and it's still swirling above this stone.
I put my hand in the water.
Oh.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Is it lightning damage?
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm
Damn.
resistant.
You still take half damage.
Half upon half.
Could I do an?
Natural one.
Could
You take double damage.
is it insight that makes
You take
it-
12 points of electric damage. Sorry, you take 6
Oh.
points of electric
is it
damage.
insight that makes you like want to know what
Just
this
go,
device is used for?
Don't touch the water.
Yeah, you can roll to
Yeah,
see.
I wanna-
Roll an Arcana check.
No, Arcana check.
You said 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Arcana check.
Worth.
Alright, here we go. Arcana, come
What's your health at, her check?
on.
56.
What's Arcana again?
What's Arcana?
man,
Wisdom.
Intelligence.
I would like to use my stone cunning when I get a chance.
It says Arcana is intelligence for this thing. So PS. Yeah. So I get a 5.
You can't quite make heads or tails of this. You know that this is it doesn't seem natural, but at the same time you can't quite make out the origin of it or the meaning.
I can't quite put my mind under what this is. So
But you do, from the point that you guys are at, we'll say that you guys are. Oh, this is where I need my giant bag of dice. We'll say that you guys are right here on the right side of the pond, and you can see broken stone pathways leading in 2 different directions from this. Thank you. Wow, nice. The perks of having long arms.
Excuse the noise, everybody. It's just Magnus's addiction. I mean, dice.
Addiction.
Addiction.
You guys.
That's not the right.
Yeah.
Addiction.
It's like a beep right
It's
there.
just dyke shit. Leave it in.
Okay, it's still recording. So yes, you see. Actually,
Magnus, this one's not.
it is recording.
Yeah,
the
the red's
red
on.
light is still
But
on.
it's not blinking. It was,
Oh,
it was blinking
son of a
before.
bitch! It drained more power recording than it's. That thing is always giving me charging problems, but we can still use these 2 and continue.
Okay.
From this point, you guys see the giant stone. You see the 4 imprints down at the base of it. You see the pond and the stone creating almost this platform in the center of the pond. And you see 3 different broken pathways leading from this pond. And with that, and the electrical energy in the air, and the whipping and wailing and whacking of the vines in various directions and length or distances around you, we will take a break. Or we'll end this episode. We'll find out next time on SASANS and Dragons. As always, SASANS, until fate next brings us together, and never stop playing video games.